Welcome everybody to episode 14 of the Canuckleheads podcast.
So soon.
My name is Justin. I'm joined by my co-host, Mr. Wes, and a unfamiliar face, Mr. Chris. Say hi, Mr. Chris.
First
Hello.
guest ever on the podcast, but more than deserving because he does all the editing, all the thumbnails, all that good stuff so that the videos look good and clean on YouTube for you guys. So thank you, Chris.
It's an honor to be here.
He's nervous.
Yeah.
First thing we should go over, Merry Christmas, December 15th. We're recording this. New location. Everybody's visiting each other here.
Yep.
December 25th.
What did I say?
15th.
No, 25th.
We're getting there. We've had a couple drinks, boys. It's Christmas.
Live editing.
So the first thing we should go over is we had other games postponed this week. The game against San Jose and Seattle, and there was one other one, I think, against the Ducks was postponed. Yeah. So no hockey to talk about.
Which is very disappointing.
Yeah. Especially on days off. Like, those 9:30 puck drops aren't that bad when you don't have to wake up at 6 a.m. the next day.
And then when we start back up, back to work. So it's one of those things. You got to be a loyal fan.
Hardcore.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's going to be a weird episode because kind of just making shit up as we go because we don't have any games to talk about.
But we do have some fun stuff to talk about.
The first thing, there's going to be a potential, like this was kind of a leak on Twitter a bit about the Canucks maybe going back to the skate jerseys. Thatcher Demko in practice had a mask, his pads, glove and blocker were all set up for the old like black, red, and white jerseys. So
Old spaghetti plate style, baby. I love those jerseys.
I would kind of be all right with that.
If they went back to that full time, you would not hear a peep from me.
Yeah. I like, as much as I like this color scheme and everything, I like the black and red ones.
100%.
Yeah.
And like, this is old school too. Like, I love the hockey stick logo, stuff like that, but it's just the spaghetti plate, black. Like, we feel like such a mean team out there. Like
30 years now of the Orca logo.
Yeah, it's been a long time. Yeah, especially like through the Naslund era. And even though we had the different color scheme, we still had that logo, right?
I think it was like 97 they switched. 96, somewhere in
there.
It
was a long time, yeah. It's
been
a long time.
I would definitely be all right with them switching it up. And the team does they play different in those jerseys. They're 100%. Meaner. They look bigger, faster, everything.
Yeah.
So one thing Wes wanted to talk about, the unicycle battle.
Yes, I cannot wait to talk about this because it was funny. Like Niels Hoglander even said, like, "Oh, me and Petey, we're gonna have to have a little unicycle battle, this and that." And they've been together during this break and haven't done anything. I want to see the unicycle battle either on Instagram. I don't care where they post it. YouTube, just please do it. Put it up. I'd love to see 3 rounds. And Justin came up with one of the rounds. It's a
50-yard race.
50-yard
straight
race.
Up on your mark, get set, go.
Who's faster on the
unicycle?
Exactly. Who's faster? Let's see it. And then the other one that I came up with, Niels Hoglander came up with this one. I seen him doing it. He was stick handling on the unicycle. I'd love to see maybe a little cone drill where they gotta see who goes fastest through the cones on the stick handling. And then Petey, big juggler on the unicycle. So maybe I'd like to see a little cone action on the unicycle as they're juggling, just maybe a little competition, a little friendly competition between the boys. See who's the ultimate unicycle dog. Yeah. And like, might as well. Like, I seen that they're kind of like taking a break, like staying in the same house.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
On Christmas break.
They packed that unicycle. Let's go. Let's see it, boys.
And we are burning through topics very quickly. We did not have a whole lot.
That's okay. And
place.
One more thing that I wanted to get into is that, boys, forgot the colors. Justin remembered his colors. I was leaving the house and I was thinking, oh yeah, I got everything. How could you forget the jersey?
I made a list and I checked it twice.
Yeah. I'm finding out who's naughty and nice out here.
Naughty.
I forgot the jersey, boys. I'm sorry. Promise it'll be on the next one.
I had a full goddamn truck that I brought down here.
For that, we're gonna have a little swig. Good old pink wit on the pod.
They don't get enough plugs.
Yeah, I've probably plugged them at least 5-6 times on this podcast. You guys know the drill. We keep the pink Whitney in the cabinet or in the freezer.
So we do have some potential games to go over. As far as the scheduling is gone now, they have postponed the game against the Kraken on the 29th, but was it the 29th?
Check
27th.
Yep, keep it
somewhere in
rolling
there.
and I'll figure it out.
But we should have a couple games to go over on the next episode, which we haven't talked about. I don't know. There might be a week break. We'll have to work something out there. But
yeah, and they've been pretty choppy. Like I don't even think the league really knows when we're fully going to start back up again. Sounds like shortly after Christmas here we might get back going, but maybe in the new year we'll have to see.
I meant the next episode of the podcast.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know if we're going to be able to do one next weekend.
Yeah,
we'll figure it out.
Sometimes once I get a couple bush in me, boys, I lose topic a little bit, but
once a week. Once a podcast.
Seriously. So here's what the schedule is.
Yeah, so the game against the Kraken was postponed. That was supposed to be the 27th.
Yeah.
So right now it looks like we'll have Anaheim and LA Wednesday, Thursday in each of those cities. Canucks traveling. So as far as things are right now, there's been no postponements of those games, but we'll see.
Which we kind of talked about off the podcast is like the games that we've missed so far, maybe they make up for during when the players were supposed to be at the Olympics.
Yeah.
We don't know when they're going to make up for those games
Probably
yet.
one thing we should go over. I'm sure you've heard now, but the NHL isn't going to the Olympics, so maybe we talk about that. I think that impacts a couple Canucks. I think Miller...
4 for sure.
Yeah, I think Miller was going to make Team USA.
I think Besser
Quinn, had a chance for sure.
Yeah,
Quinn
and Millsy. They all had a chance to be on.
And Demko.
Can't forget the Dem show. 100% had a chance to be on that team as well. All 4 guys easily could have went.
Yeah.
Like they're playing lights out right now.
Figure Petey had a chance at Team Sweden. Would have been a lock 2 years ago for sure, but now you never know. Maybe Hoglander.
But honestly, like Team Sweden, in my opinion, isn't as deep as the U.S. talent pool or the Canadian talent pool. So I think he still makes the team. I think he got Niels Hoglander even
He's
up.
got a shot.
Like, come on, man. He's been putting up huge minutes for us and playing great hockey.
Pod's a long shot for the Russian team.
Yeah, that's a bit of a stretch just because he's like rookie year, right?
Yeah, Bo was in talks in some like mock drafts of Team Canada. He was in there, but he was a long shot probably. But he would have been invited to camp for sure.
And that's the thing too. Like great centerman. Like he would have been like on the board for being a centerman, 100%. Just probably not a ton of ice time there.
Yeah, it's pretty deep roster at center, and
it's like super deep roster. It's not a shot at Bo whatsoever. It's a super deep talent pool.
Yeah, when you got names like Crosby and Bergeron, that how do you bump out of there?
Yeah,
not the easiest.
Yeah.
So we will go over some game predictions for this week, but later in the episode, just because we have maybe some games, hopefully some games. One thing that was Chris's idea is that we should do a Canuck of the Year. From 2021.
Great idea.
Yeah. Which is kind of hard to pick from last year, rolling over into this year.
Yeah.
Like, I think in total, I would probably go with Bess.
For last year?
For just 2021.
I was wondering if you were going to consider last season.
Yeah. Yeah, that is what I'm considering.
And honestly, like, I'm the biggest Besser fan, super biased here, but I'm not mad at that at all. I think that's a great choice, and anytime he has the puck on his stick, you just see magic happen. These days, the Boudreau days.
Yeah. The last 2-3 weeks.
Yeah, so let's keep that in mind. Like, let's not get too crazy here, but since Boudreau has came in, you see his shot coming back, you see his confidence coming back, and that's like absolute dreams for me because you guys know I always rock the Besser jersey, so it's nice to see.
Who's your Canuck of the Year then, Wes?
I'm going with Brock Besser.
Yeah.
That was an absolute, like, I thought that was just a gimme. Like, but I should say it out loud, 100%. We're going with Brock Besser. Let's go.
Close second, Thatcher Demko, just because of how good he's been this year. He was good last year, too.
How did I even forget? Like, oh my God, Thatcher Demko. I don't even think we have this 6-game win streak without Thatcher Demko.
Nope.
Thank you, Thatcher Demko. You are the Dem show. You're the man. You're the juggernaut. That's between the pipes for us. Keep doing what you're doing, baby.
And another thing we talked about is maybe this little break is good for the Canucks long term. Like, he was playing a lot.
100%.
He probably could have used a break.
Halak probably not too happy.
Yeah.
He's probably like,
Halak could
shit.
have used a couple more games.
Now I'm sitting on the bench. ball hat on. This
For a
kind of
while.
sucks. But at the end of the day, when Thatcher Demko's playing this good, what are you going to do?
So it will be interesting to see what happens to the team when they come back now. Like,
Yeah.
because we did have momentum. It's not like we're not on a
It's-
6-game winning streak, but we
but
haven't played
it's-
hockey in 2 weeks.
Exactly. It's hard to keep that momentum. It's kind of a momentum killer. It's almost like taking a loss.
It could have had. This was probably the Canucks were probably the worst affected by the break because we were on a streak.
Oh, yeah,
But-
heater.
You know, like typically you don't see win streaks go that long, so maybe this was a nice reset. They got some practice time in, which they haven't really had a whole lot of under Boudreau. So
Yep.
it'll be interesting to see how that first game goes.
We're going to start to get systems down in practice
Yeah.
that Boudreau really wants to implement, and he's been a very effective coach thus far. And I think most of it's just the boys have more excitement to play for a different coach. So now we're really going to get to see after the break what kind of systems he really is trying to implement, and we'll see how that works out in game.
And it's weird, right? It's almost like starting a season over again, but you can't really ease into it. Like it's LA
Yeah.
and it's Anaheim,
Yep.
2 teams we got to beat.
Yep.
Like
And 2 teams that weren't expected to do very well this year,
yeah,
but have been pretty damn good this far.
LA's had a lot of injuries recently.
Especially Anaheim. Anaheim has been on fire. You got Zegras just lighting it up. You got Terry lighting it up. You got Milano out of nowhere lighting it up too. Like
Getzlav looking like he's
Yeah.
10 years younger.
100%. Like
Chris, your thoughts on the Anaheim Ducks?
The move?
No, it's all good.
For the record, Chris isn't the biggest hockey fan. He's just-
Chris is just a smart
Vicarious
son of a
hockey
gun.
fan.
Exactly. He lives through us.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, we wouldn't have any of the artwork on the thumbnails or anything like that. The videos honestly wouldn't even be edited
including
if
the
it
nice
wasn't
Christmas
for Chris.
ones.
Exactly. Chris is the man, so we put him on the pod for that reason alone.
Oh, it's fun to help out. It is enjoyable to listen to, even as somebody who doesn't know hockey. So.
Exactly.
So that means this show is for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like these fists, rated E for everyone.
Rated E for everyone. I love how you say
Okay, so one thing we're going to go over now that we're kind of a little bit over a quarter of the way into the season is our goal predictions from this, like the very first episode.
We're almost halfway into the season. We're getting there.
Yeah, we're like 30-some games, I think,
Yep,
around there.
yep.
20,
We're
20,
almost
29.
halfway in. So it's kind of the perfect time to go over it, especially with not a ton to talk about.
So I will give you this. And this is something that Chris can help us out on a little bit here. I'm going to give you this list.
Okay.
All you gotta
Let's
do is
go.
just read. So we did this on the very first episode back in September, which seems kind of crazy now that it's been that long ago.
Yeah.
This was our goal prediction for all the players throughout the course of the year, which has some twists and turns in it here. So,
Which kind of ironic we started with Brandon Sutter.
yeah, who hasn't played a game, so we're both way off. Chris,
I'm going to try to read all of this.
I have bad writing.
Suts?
Suts.
And the number?
Yeah.
0.
So I had him at 7.
I had him at number 9. I thought Suts was going to be in from the start of the season. Had no clue he was going to be down from COVID from last year. I mean, it's really affected him in a negative way, and it's really shitty to see because he's a great Alberta boy, super hardworking guy. He's one of our best centermen, probably our second best centerman. Millsy, he's putting up a good fight this year, and he's really proven that he can be a centerman in this league. But Brandon Sutter, proven centerman, definitely our third-line centerman, and especially on the PK, great centerman to throw in there, and he hasn't played a single game, so we're both way off.
Yeah, I'm probably going to win that one because my goal total is
It's
close to
already,
0.
it's already a dub, but let's just move on here.
Next.
Mott?
Yes.
2.
So I have him at 8.
And remember, boys, I wrote down Motter McDavid on here because this guy, like Connor McDavid, you see him getting all these calls for the little hooking, this and that. This guy gets hacked and slashed as he's moving through guys because he's so fast and he never gets calls. So that's why we gave him the name Motter McDavid. But I have him at 12 goals, which was pretty aggressive, especially seeing what he's done this year. But
Missed a lot of time.
he missed a ton of time. He missed a quarter of the season. He's only been with us for, 6 games max?
Mott, no, he's played a couple, not more than that, but I don't have the number with me, but we can definitely look it up here. Keep
I
bugging
bet
around.
I bet you it's no more than 7 games. He has not been with us for very long. if he would have been with us from the start of the season, I think he would have had a better start. Just because the team was kind of in a bit of a weird place at the start of the season, and I feel like he may have got a couple goals here and there throughout that.
The penalty kill probably would have been as trash as it was.
Exactly.
16 games for Tyler Mott.
Wow! I'm way off!
Yeah.
Only 10 shy.
Okay, boys, I'm sorry. I had a couple bush tonight, but I just felt like he wasn't with us for that long, but I guess...
That is only like...
Once you start stringing...
Yeah,
once you start stringing some of these games together, it goes by pretty quick, so... Connor McDavid I had at 12. Well, I hope he can hit that this season. But
still could. I don't think it's out of the question.
At the projection, he's probably around 9 max, but whatever. We'll just go with that. And Justin's probably got a dub there too.
Probably in most of these, I think.
Yeah, it's probably a hard L for me, boys.
Pods 6.
Yeah, Pod
Colson.
I had him at 12.
I had him at 17.
So that one's pretty 50-50.
Yeah, 100%, because you never know when he's going to get on a heater and maybe get a hat trick this season. He's that type of guy. He could just come out of nowhere and get a hattie.
He goes to the net hard. He could get a couple greasy goals.
100%. And plus, he can just snipe the puck, too. He's shown from the dots he can just snipe. So I hope Pods gets to 17 and maybe gets me a dub in this column. It's going to be one of the few.
Next.
Dickinson.
It
looks like an R, but Dickinson too.
Yeah, well, who has been a lot better as of late. I know we threw shots early this season, but I mean, you're projected to be our third line center and you didn't really work out. You're playing on the wing. You're doing a little bit better there. It's nice that Boudreau gave you a real role on this team and you're embracing it. I have him extremely high, but you go first.
12.
I have him at 15. We're both pretty high.
Yeah.
He's not going to get close to that.
See, I think 12 would have been a career high for him. So I could see him maybe finish around like 8, maybe somewhere in there. But
when we predicted this, we were pretty excited about Dickinson coming in.
Neither of us knew much about him either.
No, and he's 4th on the list here. That shows you the excitement we had for him. Hasn't really panned out the way we thought.
To be fair, when I remember doing this list, I was going from the bottom of the roster to the top. So
it makes sense.
Down low, but he wasn't a goal. He's not a goal scorer.
Yeah, 100%. And it's funny that Pod Colson's thrown in there because he's at 6 right now. And
just because I wasn't sure where he was going to play.
No, 100%. But he's rolling.
Yep.
He's doing good. He's playing on the third line most of the time. Like, he's a good player for us right now. So next we have Tanner Pearson.
Hey, that's Chris's job.
At 4.
I know, but I just wanted to pronunciation. Let's
all right.
Slide it in there.
Well, no, I recognize most of these names.
Pearson's easy to pronounce.
Yeah, I'm good with these names now, I think.
Okay.
Except for that one.
Petey.
Oh, yeah. That does not look like Petey.
No, it's okay. Chicken scratch.
Anyway, Pearson, 4.
So I had him at 15.
You slid that 4 in there real quick for me. I barely heard it. Woo! I got him at 18, boys. That's way too high.
Optimistic.
Yeah, and honestly, I seen Pearson really working on Bo's line, but as you guys know, I've been chirping him on Bo's line all season. Super grateful that he's been playing on the Millsy Brock line. That line has been lights out. Tanner Pearson's been getting more assists. He's been working better against the boards. He's been winning more board battles. I love him on that line. And I think he has the potential to get more points on that line. So let's keep that up.
Again, one of the guys that has like a hot streak potential. It's how he's been his whole career. He'll go 8 games without a point, and then he'll go 5 games with multiple points.
Yeah,
so,
hot and cold.
Yeah. So not out of reason either amount, but probably not going to crack.
No.
It won't crack 20 for sure. But
No.
Next, Chris.
Garland, 9.
Go ahead, Wes.
Let's go. Connor Garland, 26. I think he still hits that. I got all the confidence in Connor Garland. He's the man. Let's go. Next jersey I buy, it's Connor Garland.
I had him at 23. And yeah, not out of the question. The rate he's been going, seems like it's going to be a 50 to 60 point guy.
Another guy that just makes it happen. He's fighting along the boards. He's the smallest guy out there. Doesn't look like it at all. He's got more fight in his game than a lot of guys in the NHL. He's willing to go to the dirty places to score goals, and he showed that. He dropped the mitts with a guy 50 pounds heavier than him the other game. I love Connor Garland. I hope you make it to 26 at least and catch me a dub.
But the knock on him, though, is that he gets pushed off the puck pretty easy.
And that is the knock on Connor Garland, but we brought it up too many times.
Next.
All right, Hog 7.
Oh,
Yeah, I know you had him pretty high.
I had Hog at 25. At the end of the day, I hope you get there, but that's aggressive. But I hope Hog proved me right. Let's go for 25, baby.
Yeah, I had him at 20, which he could still hit.
I think you caught the dub there too, but...
Yeah, there's really... When I look at our list, I think there's only a handful that you have a legit chance at.
The boys got to go on a heater. Like, we got to get some 7-goal games in order here for me to be right.
Next, sir.
Bo 10.
Beauford. I had him at 27.
I got him at 30. We're both kind of close on this one, but I could definitely see Bo scoring 30, especially with him and Millsy clicking the way they've been clicking lately.
Yeah.
Millsy's just finding those
cross-ice power play goals.
Just disgusting passes through people's legs, tap-in goals for Bo Horvat, but he's actually elevating the puck to where he needs to score those goals. So, yeah, I'm completely confident with those 30 goals. Let's go, Bo.
And Miller also 10.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had him at 26.
And Miller, I got him at 27. We're both extremely close on that. I think Millsy definitely hits that, especially with that snipe that he hit where Brock was kind of trickling in and the goalie thought it was definitely a pass to Brock, and he just says, nah, I can shoot the puck too, and shows us that shot that he has. He can definitely put 27 or 30 up. No problem.
PD 6.
We were both high on Petey, and he had a bad start.
Really bad start, and honestly, I don't know why we didn't take that into consideration, that he hasn't played much hockey lately.
Yeah, we both were just ready for the season to start and just kind of expected him to hit the ground running.
Exactly.
I had him down for 30.
And I had him for 35, which I know even that is super aggressive. 30 was a great prediction for the start of the season, thinking that he was going to come in hot. 35, super aggressive, but I thought that we were just going to see him super motivated come in. And I'm not saying that he wasn't motivated. It's just he hadn't played much hockey as of late. So, I mean, it's going to be tough. You know what I mean? You're coming into a league with the best players in the world, and you see it. His puck goes on his stick. 3 guys close on him instantly because they know how he shoots the puck. They know how he makes plays. So it's been tough for him. He's low on goals right now, but I guarantee you he just gets better and better as the season goes on, and he elevates those goals. I'd say he gets to at least 25.
Yeah, I see 25 as kind of the benchmark now for him.
100%.
But again, another guy with potential to score a lot of goals in a short amount of time.
PD's potential is here. He just hasn't hit it yet. He will one day. And he's got 3 more years with the Canucks. He will prove his worth one day.
Bo's back up to 9.
Bess.
Bess.
That's how you spell it. It's weird.
It's a weird spelling. Brock Besser. My favorite player.
I knew that.
All
right. Bess.
No, that's okay. So he's at 9 now.
How many goals did you have him down for, Wes?
I got him down for 40. Everyone knows it. My favorite player. I want him to hit career highs out here. I want him to destroy everyone when it comes to goals, which you see with Boudreau. He has more of a mindset to shoot the puck.
Yep.
He said to Millsy on the bench, I'm shooting everything. That's what I want to see Bess doing. I think if we would have made this switch a little bit earlier, we let it go a little bit long with
Green.
Yeah, and not to chirp Green. I love Travis Green as a coach. I think he's definitely an NHL coach. It's just we needed a new voice behind the bench. And I think if we would have made that switch a little bit earlier, maybe Brock would be even a little bit higher than he is now.
Yeah.
40, super aggressive. I hope you get to at least 30 this season. Justin's probably got the dub here too.
I had him at 33. And for your point, since Boudreau has taken over, Bess looks like a 40-goal scorer. So, again, could still happen. He can score a lot of goals in a short amount of time, but I think I am a lot closer than you are.
Yeah, 100%. And he's put up hat tricks in this league. There's no telling what he could do for the rest of the season. Maybe he gets a couple hatties. Who knows? He almost had one the other night.
Yep. Seems like he's putting up 2 goals a game.
Exactly.
Games, so.
Like, you never know with Bess. He can shoot the puck like no one else. Like, he just... And that's the thing. Under Green, you kind of seen him stick handle a little too much. Like Justin said, kind of dust the puck off a little bit before you shoot it. Under Boudreaux, he's just firing the thing.
Yep.
He ain't taking no time. He's just shooting the puck, and you see the puck going in. Whether it's off a guy's skate, whether it's off a shin pad, whether it's a pure snipe, doesn't matter. It's going in the net for Brock Besser. So let's hope for the best.
You got 5 more separate?
And
yeah,
this
those
is
are the defensemen.
And this is because it's defensemen. And
this is where shit gets interesting.
This is where shit gets real. I am way off.
Okay, so we're going to continue on with our defensemen here.
Which, before we get into defensemen, let's remember we're under a coach change. With Travis Green, it was very like we enter the zone, we pass the puck to the D-man either distributes for a shot or else we just shoot it from the blue line and we hope for a tip or just a straight up goal from the blue line. It was very like defensive even though we were on the offensive, which is kind of weird, right? Like we have a lot of offensive players, a lot of guys who can shoot the puck, but that was kind of the mentality. So under that coaching style, I thought our defensemen are going to get a shit ton of goals. Like, I thought Quinn Hughes was just going to be on fire. Mizey's going to be ripping the puck from the blue line. OEL's ripping the puck from the blue line. Like,
the prediction I'm most looking forward to hearing is the very first one.
And that's the most disappointing. Let's just start with Rathbone.
So, how many goals does he have, Chris?
Zip.
0.
But, to Rathbone's defense, what has he played? How many games?
Not very many.
A handful of games. I'm really disappointed he hasn't been slotted in more this season. They're putting Hunt in over Rathbone. I get that he's a young player. I get that they're trying to get him experience and then put him in the league. But honestly, was he ever outmatched, really, in any of those handful of games that he was in?
No.
He looked pretty damn good. He can shoot the puck. He can make plays. And his outlet passes are pretty goddamn good.
I think part of it at the time was the depth players he was with, right? Because it was Rathbone and Burroughs a lot, which it had a good like streak of like decent play. But I do want to see him on the Canucks, but I also don't mind him being the guy in Abbotsford.
Yeah.
And if you need to call him up, Abbotsford is so close to Vancouver. Like
100%. And
let him cook a little bit.
That's the thing. Like, that's kind of the mentality in the league these days. Let these young guys get the experience under their belt. Let them get that confidence so that when they come into the league, they're like, I'm going to shut this down. Not like, can I play in this league? I'm still pretty young. These guys have much more experience than me. It's kind of like a guessing game.
See, it's kind of like the Detroit model from a while ago where they were just such a good team. They could let their guys stay in the AHL until they were like 23 and just come in and go be NHL players.
Hit the ground running.
So I had Rathbone down for 4 goals because I'm a reasonable human being.
Yeah. But we also thought Rathbone was going to get frequent ice time.
Yeah, I thought he would be playing most of the games.
Me too. I thought he was a for sure slot in the lineup. I have him at 9 goals, which it's funny. Let's go over this quickly. I have him at 13. Yeah. Scratch that out.
Remember the 13.
I have him at 12. Scratch that out. I have him at 9. So the realism started to come to me. At some point, I was like, okay, let's take it back a little bit. Like, you're being aggressive.
13 is a lot for a rookie defenseman.
That's a flawless season.
9 is a lot for a rookie defenseman.
100%. But like, you see it when he plays. Like, he's an
Yes.
I don't want to put him in that offensive defenseman box because people try to do that to Quinn Hughes. They really
where you're just offensive.
Yeah, and that's not the box you want to put those guys in because they're much more than that. But if he's in the lineup all the time, like, I seen a great future for Jack Rathbone. 9 is very aggressive. I get that. Yeah. Even 5 would have been a great season for him. But, I mean, yeah.
And just because he's in the minors doesn't mean, like, he's a bust or anything.
He's just getting seasoned. He'll be on the squad. Yeah. 100%.
Next.
Myers.
So I had Myers at 5.
We got a big goose egg so far, boys. So I got him at 10, which is 5. That's 5 more than what Justin quoted, which like we said, when we opened up with this podcast, Justin's more of an analytics guy. I'm more of I'm just watching the game and I'm just like, this is what I see. And honestly, under Green's coaching style, I've seen our D-men shooting the puck a lot. And Tyler Myers isn't afraid to let that slap shot go. He's one of those guys where he's like, okay, I chipped it to my winger. He chipped it back to me. You're not getting it back. I'm shooting the puck, which I like.
Yeah.
I like when a guy's like, all right, I gave you your opportunity. Now I'm going to take mine. And Tyler Myers, I had him at 10 goals. That's super aggressive. But we've seen he's had good seasons. Like with Winnipeg, he had a monster season.
Yeah. And with Boudreau right now, too, like he's playing 25 minutes a game.
Yeah. His ice time has went through the roof since Boudreau has came in, and that just shows you
just kind of had some bad puck luck. Like I could see him landing somewhere in the middle of me and you.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think he's closer to what you have. Obviously, we're halfway through the season, so anything could happen. But obviously, Justin's a lot closer on that one.
How many? 0.
I had him at 3.
Hammer, which another guy hasn't been super consistent. And this goes back to some of the issues he was having at the start of the season. We're not going to speculate. We're not even going to talk about those issues because it could have been personal. We really don't know. So it would have been nice to see him play more games this season. I have him at 7 goals. But at the end of the day, I think he maybe gets to 5. And that would even be a good benchmark.
Yeah, that'd be decent.
Yeah.
See, and Hamannik's not a big scorer anymore. I remember when the first time you did this list, the very first one we did with Rathbone, you looked at me and you're like, 82 games?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, man.
But
Shit happens over 82 games.
Exactly. This is the fun about predicting scores, and that's why we have this segment on the podcast, is because it's definitely a fun element. Like,
I really enjoy doing this.
Yeah, you can fantasize all you want, but we're in the NHL here. We're playing against the best players in the world. You never know what's going to happen. Justin's been watching the league a lot longer than me, so I mean, he's got a little bit better of an understanding of the realistic side of things. And then I have like the excited, like we're going to get this many goals.
Like, if you look at Wes's list, like it's so much more fun than mine because it's optimism and like excitement, right? I was like, this is probably what'll happen.
But that's analytics.
But this is like just wanting the season to start and just like.
And that's why this podcast is fun, because
this is
two different.
You were thinking
elements.
with your heart, I was thinking with my head.
Exactly.
All right, we got OEL at 2.
What'd you have down for?
I got him at 12. And honestly, the amount he shoots the puck and the amount he gets pucks through, I bet you any money, like I'd even put $20 on the line right now if you're willing to shake on it. He at least makes it to 10.
I have him at 8, and I kind of agree with you. Just bitten by puck luck a little bit. Like 100%. He gets so many shots.
Yeah, and gets them through.
Yeah,
it's just like the goalies are so good at reading plays these days, and they're so good at looking around defenders and looking around screens. He hasn't got a ton of puck luck, but he could start putting some pucks through here soon because he does get a ton of shots.
Yes, like I think he leads the Canucks in shots, or is a top 3 for sure
on net. Yeah.
And as a defenseman, and plays a lot, like at least 20 minutes a night. So
yeah.
And we got Huggy at 2.
I had him at 11.
I have him at 13. We're not too far off on that one. And honestly, like Huggy, the way it's been going for him this year, he looks a little bit more eager to make a play instead of shoot the puck, which I'm not mad at all because he can make crisp passes tape to
tape. As long as we're winning games.
Exactly.
And like he had a 4-assist night, a 3-assist, couple 3-assist nights.
He leads the team in assists. As long as Huggy's setting up plays, we don't need him to score goals. That doesn't even matter. So wherever he ends up, we're happy.
Yeah. Kind of at this point, like a Quinn Hughes goal is just a bonus.
That's an absolute bonus, and you're screaming at the TV because you're so excited.
Another thing we should talk about, too, is that Quinn Hughes is really rounding out his game.
And his defensive side of his game, he's really picking it up.
I mean, obviously you have to do it every year over and over, but at this point, I think he is a different player than he was last year.
100%, and that's the thing we were talking about. These guys getting put in a box, Rathbone and Quinn Hughes as like the offensive defenseman, they hear that and they're motivated by that. Yeah. They don't want to be put in that box as an offensive defenseman. They're like, hell no. I'm a defenseman because I can defend, but I can also make plays.
Yeah, that minus 20 something, whatever he was last year, that's a big motivator for him to be a much better defensive player.
And that's the thing. People look at that stat and it's like, look at his minutes.
Yeah, it's a bit of a broken stat. I do like it, but like you see it against the Carolina or whoever it was, like he did everything right.
Yeah.
Taking that guy to the side of the net, and it was just a bad goal from Halak.
100%. And that's the thing, right? Like, there's so many elements to the game, so to look at that stat and just take shots at a guy is kind of outrageous.
It just sticks out a lot when you see like minus 25 or whatever.
But like you said, it is a sufficient stat because it motivates the guys. It makes them go, oh yeah? You think that's what kind of a defenseman I am? I'll show you different. So, it's a motivator.
Yeah, and he's been way better in his own end. So, good to see because he's a top-tier offensive defenseman, so it's nice to see him elevating his defensive side because
100%.
That only helps the team. A guy that plays that much and can be good on both sides of the ice, only helps.
And especially as a smaller defenseman in the league, like you gotta think in his head, he's trying to prove like my size doesn't matter. I'm gonna show you I can shut down people in my zone, and he is good at pushing people outside. Yeah. It's just like Justin was saying earlier in a different pod. Like, there's going to be some guys that's going to be tough to outmuscle them. Like, you got Getzlaf coming in.
Yeah, Kopitar.
There's some big dudes in the league, so it's going to be tough. But at the end of the day, stick to stick. Quinn Hughes can outplay any of those guys. It's just body position. It's going to be a little bit tough.
And that's something different too, right? Like, he always gets compared to Cale Makar because they came in the league at the same time. But Makar is bigger than Hughes.
They're different.
So Hughes has to learn how to use his size, so it's different for him, right? Makar can take a guy out one-on-one just physically, or handle most guys in the league.
Yeah.
Hughes, there's some guys that he just straight up can't.
Yeah, which this is an interesting topic because I talked about this with little bro Matthew earlier in the night. Shout out to you. But it's like Connor Garland. Sometimes his size is an issue, but sometimes his size is a complete attribute because those guys in the corner, they can't even try to make a hit because he'll spin so fast and he'll put you out of position. You'll miss the hit. You're out of the play. And then Connor Garland's on a break to your net.
And he's just got such a low center of gravity. Right?
Exactly.
He's just got a better angle on the puck.
So sometimes that low center of gravity, that smaller body type, can definitely be a benefit to your team.
Yeah.
It's just you have to be able to utilize it. So.
Yeah, and it's so much harder for a defenseman, right? Like, positioning is everything for a defenseman.
Exactly.
And then you have to just change that so much more when you're a smaller guy. You have to, like, your angles have to be perfect when you're little. Like, look at Troy Stetcher. Like, he figured it out.
Yep.
I don't really ever recall Troy getting beat by a big guy just physically because his positioning was so good. And that's something that Quinn will figure out because he's so smart and too
his
talented.
Skating is freaking 11 out of 10.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
We agree on that.
Some nice Troy Stetcher talk there.
We bring up Troy every pod. Troy Stetcher, you're the man. Let's go.
Heart and soul. Okay, so one thing that, since it is Christmas, we got each other some gifts. So this is mine from Wes, and this is Wes from me.
Thank you, sir.
So I'll open mine first while Wes pours himself a drink. One thing we realized right when we were sitting down to do this is we should have got Chris a gift. And we
are major assholes. We didn't even think about it. Chris, this shot of Pink Wits for you.
Thank you.
That's your gift from me. I apologize. I know I got you a personal gift, but a podcast gift was definitely should have been sent your way. I'm so sorry. We will send you something in the mail, maybe a lottery ticket. Hopefully you win like a $50 million lottery ticket. We'll see.
This is actually pretty cool. So we got a PD card.
He's already opened it.
Yeah.
That was so fast.
I said I was going to while you put him a shot there.
And this is, I hope you realize it takes some time to collect some.
Yeah, card collection works.
Okay.
We got a Hoglander rookie card.
Woo!
A Bo canvas card. That's very nice indeed.
Let's go.
We got a rookie Oli Levy, former Vancouver Canuck.
And that one I kind of thought about not even throwing in because I was pretty excited on Yo Levy when he came in. But
Levy too.
Exactly, but it is what it is. Yeah.
Got a Quinn Hughes. Got a Quinn Hughes.
Let's go.
Got a Bo Horvat.
Let's go.
Got another Oli Levy rookie card.
Let's go.
Got a Brock Besser.
And that one I loved. I thought about keeping
Brock Besser,
it.
and another Quinn Hughes. Thank you very much, Wes.
You're welcome. And I have a buddy who's a card collector, so
You just pick and choose?
he hooked me up.
Nice.
I found a couple in a store, but I found a couple through him, and yeah, it worked out well.
I appreciate it.
Man, you could spend a ton of money on like
Oh, yeah.
packs of cards trying to get your team's cards.
Yep.
And luckily I have a couple Canucks. They help me out. So, up for my
This
gift.
one's taped up pretty
Yeah,
hardcore.
you taped it pretty good and wrapped it pretty good. You used a lot of paper here.
This is kind of a for the show gift.
Nice.
Let's go. I'm pumped about this.
I saw it and I was like, Wes would like that.
And I swear to God, I don't know if it was on camera or off camera. I said I wanted one of these. So that's super sick.
Show the people, sir. So that'll be in the next episode.
100%. And something that's not on this pod that's going to be in future pods. I got a handmade wooden sign that lights up. Spaghetti plate logo. It's going to be on the wall in the next vid. So watch out for that.
So we'll have some set improvements coming up shortly.
I don't got nails, so this is going to be extremely hard to open. We'll put it on the next pod. Check it out. It's going to be super sick.
So now everybody will know when we're live.
Exactly.
Stop slamming stuff.
I'm sorry. I had a couple bush. We're into it, boys.
So the last thing we want to talk about too is we want to give Chris some time to actually plug his shit, because
Big shouts out to Chris.
the kind of the heart and soul behind everything, the man behind the camera.
Exactly. That's making he's pulling the strings, boys. He's the puppeteer. You know what I mean?
just slap them together. You guys do a great job, and it's awesome
we're
to be
okay.
a part of it. But yeah, you can check out my work at Christian Ethics on Twitter and Instagram, or my website, christiandesign.com, is just kind of up and running again. It'll start getting more filled out again soon.
And tell them where you live, what you've been
You don't
doing.
have to do that.
Based in Toronto, going to grad school.
Not your address. I'm saying, like this guy's been through it when he goes to school. Like he's been in Edmonton going to university. He worked for the label doing artwork for them, stuff like that. And now he's in Toronto doing things for the university there. So thank God we have him, because he's definitely helped us out a ton. And it's great for us because it makes it super easy on us, honestly.
It makes us look like we know what we're doing.
Exactly. So thank you, Chris. We appreciate it.
No problem. And clearly I'm a huge fan. I just like to support Dickerson and Bose. So.
Dickerson.
I'm just kidding.
Oh my. Boys! We're in one. No, that's awesome.
So yeah, Chris, you're in art school. What do you do?
Yeah, my program's called Digital Futures. I'm all into like storytelling and augmented reality is kind of my deal. So yeah.
Which you can see all that stuff on his Instagram. It's really cool stuff. Plug your Instagram one more time, please.
Christian Ethics.
Spell it out.
KRISTJANETHICS.
Thank you.
Always linked.
Yeah, 100%. He's always in the description. If you ever want to check it out, maybe you want to start your own podcast one day and you need this guy to edit it. Hit him up.
Toss him a couple bucks.
I'm not looking for more things to take.
I know you're busy, but a small fee, a guy's handy. So you know what I mean. And he's been great for us. He definitely helps us out a lot. So thank you very much.
Well, thank you.
And we are kind of on opposite sides of Canada, so that's why you never really see Chris until it's Christmas or something where all our families get together.
He has to fly in, you know what I mean? So it's definitely nice to have him here on the pod in the flesh.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Well deserving. Should have plugged him a lot more. Should have got him a gift, but we're shitty people.
You guys,
we're assholes.
No, it's
like,
good.
Look at this guy. He buys me Vancouver socks, the whole 9 yards, and what do I get him? Right, boys?
You got me some good gifts.
Terrible. I feel like a piece of shit. It's okay. We'll make it up.
This was part of my present review, so thank you.
Bottom of 6-pack. That ain't nothing.
Yeah, I think that'll wrap it up for episode 14.
Yeah.
Again, not sure if there'll be an episode next week or not, just the way our schedule's
We're
going.
making an episode next week.
All
Cut
right.
that
There's an
crap.
episode next week.
There's always an episode on Monday. We're a consistent podcast. Let's go.
All right. Check us out on Spotify, Apple, everywhere there's podcasts. Check out the Christmas themed thumbnails that Chris has made specifically for this run of episodes. Yeah.
He's the man.
Merry Christmas.
Let's go, boys.
Merry Christmas,
Merry
everybody.
Christmas. Another
Happy
good one in the
holidays.
bag. Let's go.